Hello dear viewers and welcome back. Settle in, because today's royal storyline starts with a quiet line on a royal diary and explodes into a full-blown national debate about work, duty, optics, and the future of the firm. The announcement seemed simple enough. While the 80th anniversary of victory over Japan is marked across the country, the Prince and Princess of Wales won't be in the frame. No speeches, no service, no balcony moment. In an age where absence shouts louder than presence, that was all it took. Within minutes the commentariat did what it does best. One blunt verdict ricocheted across feeds: all is not well in the House of Windsor, and suddenly a scheduling choice was recast as a smoke signal. The snark came fast too. William took Charlotte to the women's football, Catherine's early years team dropped new animated shorts, and somehow those two gentle moments became Exhibit A in the case for They Must Be Exhausted. From there the chorus turned fiscal, as it always does. If they're not showing up, slash the budget, cut the security, trim the sails. In a summer where patience is thin and attention spans are thinner, the court of public opinion moved from eyebrow raise to sentence in under an hour. Step back from the heat and the shape is subtler. The Waleses have never tried to headline every Remembrance Date. They've poured weight into the very biggest moments and stayed strategic with the rest. This spring the family turned out for VE Day's 80th. Last June William stood at the D-Day commemorations reading from a soldier's diary while the King gave a deeply personal address. Those appearances weren't box-ticking, they were heavy, human, and precisely delivered. VJ Day, by contrast, has not been part of their regular rhythm. That doesn't mean the anniversary matters less. It means the rota across a slimmed-down team is carefully divided so that the Crown's voice carries without burning out the few who carry it. None of that soothes the optics. Optics don't care about spreadsheets, and this is where timing torpedoes nuance. Princess Anne turns 75 on VJ Day, which naturally diverts attention to her milestone. The King will anchor the moment from Buckingham Palace with an address designed to hold the nation's memory steady, the monarchy doing what only it can do in times like these. But the internet keeps score in faces, not functions, and when the faces it wants aren't on the program, the vacuum fills itself. Then came the summer sightings. Whispered reports of the Wales family taking a discreet island break with the Middletons, a sleek yacht easing into water so blue it looked filtered, locals claiming a glimpse and passing it on. In a separate stream, Queen Camilla was photographed relaxing on a billionaire donor's boat, all breezy linen and big sunglasses. Instantly the pictures became ammunition. Stylish? Yes. Sensible? Debatable. Smart optics in a cost-of-living crisis? You can guess the verdict. Critics argued that royals don't really get holidays, they're the brand 24/7, and every luxury lens flares into the same storyline about privilege. When a former minister pops up to scold the visuals, you know the mood music has shifted. Here's the uncomfortable truth the palace knows but can't admit: the firm can be strategically right and visually wrong at the same time. The King is rationing his strength with statesmanlike discipline. The Princess Royal remains a human metronome. The Edinburghs carry a quieter burden that rarely trends. And the Waleses? They're the hinge on which the next era swings. Their job isn't just to show up, it's to choose when not to, so that when they do, it matters. That means some weeks of silence, some bursts of visibility, and long stretches of work that never lands on a front page because it happens in meeting rooms, voiceover booths, and planning calls. Look closely and those threads are there even now. William's team has been stitching together the autumn's marquee moments: Earthshot's next push, the homelessness homeward sites moving from blueprint to brick, the Duchy of Cornwall projects like that little noticed but real win helping a Cornish club fix its access road so it can grow. He sent an old-school letter of congratulations to Truro City as they turned fully professional, tiny gestures that tell communities the air actually sees them. Catherine's early years films, meanwhile, weren't 5 minutes and a send button. They were months of input from practitioners and animators, designed to outlive any single walkabout. That's the shape of modern royal work. Less ribbon, more scaffolding. But the internet grades on vibes, not value, and vibes are brutal in August. A shaky phone video of a superyacht will always beat a PDF of a housing plan. A sun-bleached picture of a kaftan will always beat a white paper on infant development. The palace can't win that game, so it has to change the board. That is why the King's VJ Day address matters far beyond the words on the teleprompter. It's why the next Wales outing has to feel like a page-turner, not a placeholder. It's why, when the school run ends and the leaves start to turn, the diary must line up big, purposeful beats, mental health with real funding behind it, homelessness with habitable doors opening, climate work that isn't just a stage but a solution. There's another layer humming under this week's noise, a generational recalibration. The Queen's reign trained the country to expect omnipresence, flags, openings, plaques, the gentle tick of duty filling every day. The new model is leaner by design, forced by age, health, and simple math. That amplifies every absence until it looks like a verdict. An empty chair at a wreath-laying becomes a narrative, distracted, disengaged, deprioritized. The palace can't afford too many of those empty chair moments in a row, not because the work isn't being done elsewhere, but because symbols are the work. In a constitutional monarchy, presence is policy. That's why even the holiday chatter matters. It isn't a crime to rest, it's a necessity, especially when two of the Crown's most public faces have weathered a year of illness inside their own household and a relentless spotlight outside it. But fair or not, the camera doesn't care. A yacht becomes a headline, becomes a talking point, becomes a poll number. The fix isn't to pretend the royals live like monks. The fix is to pair every soft image with a hard deliverable, every off-duty snap with an on-duty result that lands in people's actual lives. New homes finished. New training programs launched. New community hubs funded. When the ledger of outcomes grows heavier, the pictures float rather than sink. So where does that leave next week? Expect the tone, solemn, spare, personal, to do some heavy lifting for the King. Expect the palace social channels to frame the history carefully, perhaps with archival footage and survivor voices that remind the nation why this date requires silence more than spectacle. Don't be surprised if the Waleses amplify that message digitally rather than physically. It's not the same as being there, but it's not nothing either. And once the schools are back, watch the Wales Diary for dense, meaningful clusters rather than scattershot outings. A few big swings land better than 20 light taps. None of this will stop the chorus that insists the monarchy is fading, or the one that says the Waleses don't want the grind. Those refrains are as old as the balcony. But if you strip away the snark, what you're left with is a simple, sharp metric: trust. Do people trust that these particular people are spending their time on or off camera in ways that make the country feel steadier? If the answer is yes, the rest is weather. If the answer is no, every summer breeze becomes a storm. Which brings us back to the line that started this all. Is all not well in the House of Windsor? The dramatic answer plays well. The honest answer is more human. Families juggle milestones and memorials. Bosses juggle health and duty. Parents juggle school holidays and a nation's expectations. Sometimes the juggle isn't pretty. Sometimes the optics are off. Sometimes a decision that makes sense inside a palace lands badly outside it. The only thing that matters is what comes next. We'll be here for that next chapter, the King's address, the public's reaction, the first big Wales appearance of autumn, and whether it shifts the mood. Do you think skipping VJ Day was a reasonable division of labor or a misread of the moment? Are holiday optics fair game, or just fodder for a slow news week? Drop your take below, keep it sharp but civil, and if you want more breakdowns that go beyond the knee-jerk, tap like and subscribe. In royal watching, as in life, the quiet choices always end up being the loudest.